Dragon Ball Z Kakarot was loved by a lot of people, but it was not so loved by a lot too. So today I'm going to be reading negative reviews of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot so you don't have to. Goku isn't in the game. Who the is Kakarot? I'm already seeing how this is about to go. Game should be called Dragon Ball Z Gohan. You barely play Goku. The quality of cutscenes keeps switching between awesome and shit. What did you expect? Goku died a lot. I mean, it definitely could have been Dragon Ball Z Bring Back Goku. And I'm not exactly sure what cutscenes you're talking about that were bad, because like the ones that I saw in my version of the game, they were fire. Now this person here had a pretty lengthy review. He was talking about everything, from the open world to the combat, blah, blah, blah. But I was really interested in the combat chunk. He said the combat is absolutely awful. It goes something like dodge, 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 punch twice, repeat. Most fights are bosses and they just spam the same annoying supers over and over while you spam dodge over and over. It eventually whittled them down. I guess you can call it an action RPG if action constitutes dodging for 95% of a fight and hitting the punch button once or twice in between. Okay, so if you play like that, where you just dodge, 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 punch, it can get mad repetitive. But the game actually has some pretty decent combat, but it's up to you to figure that out. You can get off using super attacks and dodging or just punching and dodging, but it's so much more available to you than that. I'm not out here saying that it's like super deep or revolutionary, but you can do more than punch and dodge. You can string melee attacks together with ki blast, you can use burst, and you can use your super attacks in a way that's quite reminiscent of the fast-paced action found in the anime. And if we're being real, the anime consists of just a bunch of dodging and punching really fast and then like a super move, so it's honestly quite accurate. Another point that they made was to say that the game wasn't open world, and I saw a few other people say the same thing, and I can't say that I necessarily agree with that. An open world game is a game that allows you to travel the world and approach objectives freely. Now, I will say that the world isn't fully furnished, but it's definitely an open world game, like through the skin of its teeth. Now, you can do a good bit, whether it's side quests, if that's your thing. You can drive, you can do time attack missions. You can even do a home run contest if you want. Now, I definitely understand the disappointment, but to make it seem like it's just the worst of the worst is crazy. Y'all act like it's Dragon Ball Z Sagas or something. I've loved playing Dragon Ball Z games since I was a kid and have been continuing to play them now in my mid-20s. I'm honestly so disappointed with the direction these past few games have gone in terms of gameplay and fighting mechanics. With the technology we have now, you would think that the creators would be able to make a solid, immersive, all-around game in these past few years. We have all loved the Budokai Tenkaichi, and Rage and Blast games, but there's been nothing close to those calibers in years. These same old spamming buttons, repetition tag team games is all we get now. I miss the transformation scenes, the way each super looked, the way ultimate finishes felt, so exciting and fluid. I always buy these games in hopes that they would incorporate some of those exciting mechanics in a new way, but it's just been a disappointment. Now, I came across a few reviews that pretty much sang the same tune, and I think that people are blinded by nostalgia in a good and a bad way. Every game that comes out Dragon Ball related will get compared to the Budokai series and the Tenkaichi series. To a degree, I get it because they were beautiful, fun, and let us experience the anime in an amazing way, and they still hold up to this day. The issue comes in when you get so blinded to a point where you will never be satisfied. Those games and this game shouldn't even be compared due to them being completely different genres, and they have two completely different goals. The older games were a way for us to use our favorite characters against each other and fight it out. We could rewrite history by making villains win, hold tournaments with characters that would have never come across each other, and all type of stuff. It was great, but the whole point of Kakarot was to retell the story of DBZ in a condensed form to cash in on people who have nostalgia-gasms for DBZ and to introduce newcomers to the series as well. And to say this game doesn't look good and isn't immersive is kind of crazy. Like, every cutscene was pretty much fire. Now, there were some things missing, but I think you do that on purpose. So, things that are missing, you find it in the actual anime. Like, it still leaves you a reason to watch the actual show. And there isn't an RPG on this earth that I know of that does not feel repetitive at some point with fetch quests and, things of that nature. So I think that that's a cheap shot, low key. Now, I do think that the developers and publishers should be held to a high standard since previous games were of a higher quality. But we also shouldn't just nitpick to prove a point. Bad game. See? Short and sweet. I hate to say it, but the game is just too hard. Yeah, I think he mixed this one up with the Dark Souls review. Dragon Ball Z, Kakarot, weird smiley face. The worst game ever, I paid $74.99 AM. Very disappointed. Product received for free. Nah, I'm done.